Imagine a man so volatile that a single sentence at a dinner table could lead him to reach for a pistol. That man was the young Leo Tolstoy. Before he was the sage of Russian literature, Tolstoy was a proud, hot-tempered aristocrat. In 1861, during a quiet lunch, the writer Ivan Turgenev made a casual remark that Tolstoy took as a personal insult. Tolstoy didn't just argue. He challenged Turgenev to a duel with pistols, intended to be fatal. He spent years trapped in the logic of the strike, the belief that his honor depended on his ability to hurt those who hurt him. But as he aged, he realized that this was not strength, but a profound form of slavery. Today, we follow Tolstoy's own transformation to uncover his secret method for handling insults. A method that took him from a man of violence to a man whose philosophy of non-resistance literally changed the world. Act 1. The realization of the puppet. The turning point for Tolstoy came when he looked at his own anger and saw it for what it truly was, a mechanical reflex. In his spiritual memoir, A Confession, Tolstoy describes the hollow feeling of living for the ego. He realized that when someone insulted him and he reacted with rage, he was no longer the master of his own life. He was a puppet, and the insulter was pulling the strings. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus, whose works Tolstoy studied deeply, wrote, "If someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation." Tolstoy's first realization was that an insult is like a gift. If you do not accept it, it still belongs to the giver. The method begins by recognizing the amygdala hijack, the biological urge to fight, and refusing to let your lower nature take the wheel. Act 2. The law of non-resistance. Tolstoy eventually arrived at a conclusion that shocked the world. The law of non-resistance to evil. In his masterpiece, The Kingdom of God is Within You, Tolstoy argued that by meeting an insult with another insult, you are simply adding more wood to a burning house. The only way to extinguish the fire is to deny it oxygen. This isn't passivity, it is high-level strategy. Mahatma Gandhi, who was a young lawyer in South Africa when he first read Tolstoy, called this satyagraha, the force of the soul. Tolstoy's method teaches us that when you refuse to fight back, you create a psychological vacuum. The person playing dirty has nothing to lean against. They are forced to confront the echoes of their own words in the silence you provide. Your silence is a mirror that reflects their ugliness back at them. Act 3. The psychology of the wounded animal. As Tolstoy matured, he replaced his pride with a clinical form of pity. He began to see the insulter not as a powerful enemy, but as a wounded animal lashing out in pain. Tolstoy believed that a man who is truly at peace with God and himself has no need to diminish others. Aggression is always a confession of an internal lack. The psychologist Dr. Carl Jung later echoed this, stating that everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. Tolstoy practiced active empathy. When someone insulted him, he would ask, "What hole in this man's soul is he trying to fill with my anger?" By shifting from the victim mindset to the observer mindset, Tolstoy protected his internal peace. You cannot be insulted by someone you pity. Act 4. The victory of the internal kingdom. Tolstoy's final years were spent in the simple peasant's cottage, having renounced his wealth and his titles. He was mocked by the press, he was excommunicated by the church, He was even insulted by his own family. And yet, he remained immovable. He had found the internal kingdom that no man could touch. He understood what Friedrich Nietzsche meant when he wrote, "He who fights with monsters should look to it that he himself does not become a monster." Tolstoy's secret method is the ultimate act of power, the power to remain yourself regardless of the environment. The insult happened out there, in the world of noise, but Tolstoy lived in here, in the world of truth. The strategist's conclusion. Leo Tolstoy died in a remote train station, fleeing the noise of the world. But he died free. He didn't win by killing Turgenev in a duel. He won by killing the ego that wanted the duel. The next time someone plays dirty with you, the next time a jagged insult is thrown your way, remember the count. Remember the pistols he never fired. As the Stoic Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." Don't look for a clever comeback. Look for the silence that proves you are untouchable. Tell me in the comments. Do you find it harder to stay silent or to walk away? Let's share our strategies for the internal kingdom. I read every one. If Tolstoy's journey rewired your perspective, consider subscribing. Let's train our brains for a better life. Together. Thank you for watching.